God be with you. What do you need?
I've still got a few questions about the fire.
I've told you what I know, but go on, ask.
How did you find out about the fire?
From the brothers who were meant to deal with the bodies. They came to fetch their tools, but then rushed back, saying no one was to go near the corpses.
Do you know this Elijah? Can you tell me anything about him?
He's a lay brother, so I reckon he spends most of the day working and joins prayers once a day like the others.
All right, but what's he like? Grouchy, a fool, or a cheerful fella?
I treated him once for food poisoning. He was quite unpleasant then, but otherwise I never spoke with him.
And the other monks? Do they say anything about him?
They do, but I wouldn't put much faith in it.
Even gossip usually has a grain of truth in it. What have you heard?
He drinks heavily, and before he came here, he drank away a fortune. He entered the monastery to quit, but it seems the drink's stronger than he is.
Right, I get it. Don't worry. I won't repeat it to anyone.
That's probably for the best.
That'll be all. Thanks.
God be with you.
Amen.
What? Pissing down again. Huh?
You're not supposed to...
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here. And I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across the symbol of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during my investigation. And I was wondering if you might have any records or anything that might be connected to it.
If memory serves, something should definitely be here. I even dabbled in it myself long ago. We have the legacy of a knight named Boleslav Bavor, who journeyed through the Holy Land and visited Jerusalem. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some laborers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves. And they were looking for something tied to the Jerusalem cross.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What sort of relic are we talking about?
I don't know exactly, but certainly something very rare. I believe it's linked to Jesus Christ himself, but I can't tell you for sure right now. It's been many years, and even back then I never found anything substantial apart from Bavor's records of his travels. In the end, I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
But why would the workers suddenly be looking for it now? How could they have found out?
It's certainly a strange coincidence. Then again, there are all sorts of lies and half-truths circulating out there about our monastery, unfortunately. Especially tales of long-sealed treasures and hidden cellars full of silver. If even a sliver of it were true...
It makes sense. They heard something about Jerusalem and Bavor, and when the opportunity came, they simply tried their luck.
That's probably most likely. At least until we find a better explanation. Either way, we must report it to the abbot without delay. Robbing the dead is disgraceful.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too. Here you go. Bavor's travel records about his journey through the Holy Land. And I've also found these old accounts. Feel free to study them too. I'm curious myself what conclusion you'll come to, if any.
Oh. It really says here that he acquired a holy relic. Let's see how it continues.
Why has this come up again now? My old notes. Only the devil could make sense of this mess. Travel records, notes, Euro, crypt. And nothing to make from it. Like I said.
According to the journal, Bavor had himself buried here with his holy treasure. That sounds pretty clear. Let's see what the accounts say. So Bavor gave the monastery a generous donation and paid for a chapel mural painting. And still, despite all the records and mentions, Crispin had his doubts. Why?
Well, are you still so enamored with Lord Bavor?
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
And?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
How is that even possible? A grave can't just disappear.
Quite frankly, I don't know. And I didn't know then either. Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter. And it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up too?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war, and the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world, don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up if that's what it was.
The crypt has a hidden side chamber, you know.
Excuse me? What chamber?
It had been walled up. In one part of the crypt, the masonry was loose, so I managed to get inside.
I've never heard of anything like that. Perhaps even Abbot Vitus didn't know of it.
I'd say the abbot would definitely have known about something like that. He just didn't tell you. Maybe on purpose.
Where are you going with this?
I'm not sure. Just thinking out loud, really. And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text. But lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite, if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree, something about it doesn't sit right.
Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction. He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Vitus isn't here anymore. So we can pick up where you left off. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck.
But you spoke of that hidden chamber in the crypt. If there's any clue, it'll be in there. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Those workers, if they really were after Bavor, they only had a drawing of the Jerusalem cross. But if he was buried under his family crest, no wonder they opened the wrong graves.
Yes, that could be it. Study that sketch well, so you won't make the same mistake.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there, especially now, with death haunting the monastery.
What?
What's it like down there? Any sign of those workers who've gone missing?
Them not being here? Nothing. Then let's drop it, shall we?
Master Ludolf said we're not to leave anything unchecked. And I mean what like. I'll give the place another once-over. You take a proper look down below, too. Ludolf's not too happy about those workers.
Huh? You could have climbed into the tree yourself.
Huh? What?
Abbot Vitus. Crispin mentioned him. Let's hope he forgives us for digging into Bavor's story again. A crozier and mitre. That'll be an abbot's tomb. This must have been some knight. There's a cross above his head, but a rose in the crest, and I'm looking for an arrow. Abbot Uldericus, but no sign of Bavor. Oh. Good thing I've got the hood. Sarcophagus of a nobleman, disturbed by those workers. Most likely because of the large cross, but Bavor ought to be buried under an arrow crest. Some past abbot's tomb. Maybe even Heinrich. Nice. Looks more like an abbot's tomb from the carving. Good thing. I'll be shifting that rubble for days on my own. This one's rather worn down, but I think I can make out the abbot's symbol. Bavor's crest. So it's true. Bloody hell. God have mercy on your soul. Who was here? Could someone have been following me? That Teuton may have died in my place. Poor wretch. But he didn't go down easy, judging by the blood.
What was that? Did someone attack me? Shit. I can't remember a thing. Damn it! They even took my clothes. What else did they take from me? Shit! What? Someone stole it! Where could he be? Where could he have got to? I'm done. I won't find nothing here now.
Maybe. But going back centuries, they'll be in dreadful condition, and I'd likely learn nothing from them anyway. Ah,
Brother Crispin?
Henry, I searched through the archives again to see if I might still find something on Bavor, but so far nothing. And your search in the crypt? Did you dare go down there?
I dared. And more than that, I truly did find Bavor's sarcophagus in the hidden chamber.
By all the saints? And the relic? Was it there?
No. I was hoping, but I don't think it's that simple. There's a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but Bavor isn't the one lying in it.
What? You?
I had to know. Judging by the robes, I'd say it's an abbot or some other high-ranking cleric.
Good lord, that's truly strange.
And do you know what's even stranger? I think someone was watching me down there.
Watching? Who? Did you see anyone?
I only heard some voices and found a fresh torch on the ground. Someone must have dropped it or thrown it aside.
Could it have been one of the workers again?
That would make the most sense. There's not much we can do about it now anyway. Best thing is to solve this mystery about Bavor as soon as we can.
So, you're saying you found a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but not Bavor himself?
Exactly. I have no idea what to do next. I was kinda hoping you might come up with an explanation. That chamber looked untouched for years.
Explanations do come to mind, but they're purely speculation. It's possible Bavor was never buried here at all. Or perhaps his grave was moved.
The tomb wasn't empty. There was someone else inside. That does make the idea of relocation more likely.
And if, as you say, the sarcophagus was marked with Bavor's coat of arms, I'm inclined to agree.
But why would anyone move him? Isn't that against God's will or something?
There are reasons for it. They're internal matters of the monastery. I shouldn't be discussing them with a layman.
That sounds mighty suspicious to me. Almost like some kind of forbidden art.
I assure you, there's nothing suspicious about it.
Then explain it to me. It's worth leaving me to imagine what really happened.
Oh, very well. To be laid to rest in the monastery crypt near the altar is the best one can hope for the soul of the departed. Normally such places are reserved for abbots, but this privilege can be granted to others in rare cases.
That would explain why Bavor might be buried there, but not why he isn't.
I'm getting to that. A place of such honor may be given for great deeds, or a truly generous donation. But if the person has been dead for a long time, and has no surviving kin to speak for him, then it's possible the body may be moved to make way for a deceased abbot, or a potential new benefactor.
I see. And I understand that's not an easy thing for you to speak about.
Thank you. Still, the deceased isn't simply tossed aside. He's respectfully moved to another resting place, just not as prestigious.
Right. But that brings us back to the question. So where could they have moved Bavor to?
Most likely to the consecrated field next to the monastery, or the graveyard by the infirmary church of St. Cosmas and Damian.
Hang on. That consecrated field is enormous. I'd be searching for weeks, and I can't even get in there now. Better to scout the infirmary church first.
God be with you, Henry. I hope you manage to find Bavor at last.
Bloody rain.
man.
I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit and born of the Virgin Mary. He suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended into hell. On the third day, he rose again. He ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. He will come again to judge the living and the dead. I believe.
Look at that. Bavor's crest. This must be it. Holy relics hidden in barrels of olives. Just like he wrote in his travel records. And the attack by Mamluk bandits. No doubt Bavor had courage aplenty. The start of Bavor's journey. That's probably Venice and Jerusalem.
Huh?
Huh? Bit neglected, but otherwise a nice place for one's final rest. I hope I find Bavor here, so I don't have to search the whole consecrated field. Going by the crest, this was someone noble, but not Bavor. Who knows who lies here? Let's not disturb them. Unmarked grave. Peace to your soul, whoever you are. Seems to be a nobleman laid to rest here. But I don't recognize the crest. Glory to you and your house, unknown lord.
nobleman. He must have had luck, or a purse full of groschen to be buried within monastery walls. May the Lord Christ watch over your house, brave sir. Master Bavor! Where are you hiding? What did I expect? I'd rather meet someone alive now. Unmarked grave. I might as well have gone straight to the consecrated field. A grave. In a graveyard. Doesn't look like it's hiding any mystery. Boleslav's crest! At last! Let's hope its lord lies somewhere nearby. My back! And the rest. I hope this is it. The armor, the crest, the sword. It has to be him. The valiant knight Boleslav Bavor. May his soul rest in peace. Only no sign of the relic. But then again, the mural showed that in his scutcheon in his crest.
Amen. Nice choice of last words. And I'll be taking that treasure.
Fool! Can't you see the Lord stands with me?
We'll see. Maybe he'll change his mind. Get him! Take the relic from him!
Forgive me, Master Bavor. You won't be needing it anymore.
My God. A Crusader's sword that saw the Holy Land. A true honor.
Henry, what in God's name is going on here?
They attacked me. I was only defending myself.
I believe you, Henry. But you need to give a full account to the abbot. The brothers will escort you to him. I'll look around a bit more and join you soon. I also want to hear what you've got to say. I hate to interrupt your grace, but something's happened that urgently requires your attention.
Did you bring more news from Masters Albic and Zacharias? How fare our sick?
No, my lord. I've brought Henry here because we apprehended him in the infirmary graveyard. There was a fight. 3 men were killed, and the grave of the bearer of the arrow crest was looted.
Boleslav Bavor? I was just telling his grace about him. The relic. Was it there?
Yes. Bavor had it placed in the compartment in the sarcophagus lid. A fragment of Christ's cross. Just as Bavor's travel record said.
Incredible! The Lord is with us in this dark hour.
Such a treasure hidden away and waiting to be revealed in a time of need. Praised be Jesus Christ.
Now and forever. And praised be the Virgin Mary, our protector.
But now, back to what Ludolf said. Did 3 people truly lose their lives?
They attacked me. I only defended myself.
But who were they? Where did they come from?
I got on the trail of the relic when I caught workers searching the monastery crypt. But those bandits... They clearly had my trail, too, since they came right for me. I reckon it's all connected, somehow.
I never told anyone. Not until just now, to his grace. And we were alone.
Ludolf, how is it that armed men managed to breach my monastery?
Please accept my apology, Your Grace. The grounds are vast and complex, and with our numbers we simply can't guard it all. I take full responsibility and will do everything in our power to ensure this doesn't happen again.
Thank you. I'm counting on you. First, the collapse in the church. Then, a foul sickness. A fire. More deaths. And now, armed raiders. It's becoming too much for our already dwindling order. Why is the Lord punishing us?
Punishing or testing? That relic, it's a sign. A promise of hope.
Perhaps, Crispin. Let's hope we interpret the Lord's intentions correctly. Henry, on my behalf and on that of our Brotherhood, I thank you for recovering such a treasure for us. Let the disturbance of Sir Bavor's grave be forgiven, for you were guided by divine providence.
Thank you, Your Grace. I was glad to do it.
Ludolf, escort Henry to the infirmary. I'll keep the relic here and remain in prayer and contemplation.
As you command.
Credit where is due, you managed to recover the relic. Truly a knightly deed. May it bring us relief from this affliction. The Lord be with you, Henry. What's this?
Did I imagine it? I heard something. Go on, find your master. Fuck it. Don't come back. Go on, find your master.
Why do you keep sniffing about? Go on, get!
Go on, find your master.
Come back. Go on, find your mark.
Right then. Where to begin? I'll start with the younger one. Muscle stiff, but the body looks supple. What's that in his hair? It's all clumped together. Looks like flour, or maybe lime. Yeah, it's flour. Ugh. Oof. Better mind my fingers. Rigor mortis is wearing off. He can't have been dead more than a few hours. He vomited up his guts before he died. Just like that old confessor. Bruising, some dried blood, but no broken bones. Those bruises are odd. Regular. Almost perfectly circular. Looks like cupping marks. Someone might have tried to ease a fever or pain. He's young, but his hands are a mess. Covered in scars, nails broken, looks like hard labor. And 2 workers did go missing. That can't be a coincidence. I don't see anything odd here. Ribs intact, belly soft. No sign of violent death. Just his back and hips are badly scraped. No blood. Like he was dragged over gravel after he died. A few old scars, gravel embedded in both knees, and blood around the groin. Barely dried. Could it have leaked out after death? Mixed with bowel contents. Bloody diarrhea. Like with the infection. That's everything with this one. Now for the older one. Pale, sunken eyes, missing some teeth, though that might just be age. But that hole in his head is someone's doing. Small, round, clean, like it was drilled. I've heard of that method before, used in cases of unbearable headache or seizures. But who'd try that outside the infirmary? Completely stiff. Clenched tight. Like he was ready for a fight. Rigor mortis well advanced. Died long before the fire. Skin's badly scratched. And there's a thorn stuck here. Maybe a rose? Stiff as a board. But no broken bones. Back and shoulders all scratched up. Like he was dragged through brambles. And around his neck and chest he's got red blotches on the skin. Those blotches look familiar. They're a bit like the ones on that old confessor.
Looks like this poor wretch caught the same thing. Knees are scraped and scarred. He must have worked hard in his life.
There's nothing more I'll find on him. Well, what's clear is they didn't die in that burning hut. More likely, they succumbed to the infection spreading in the monastery. The symptoms match perfectly. Either way, it wasn't a cold-blooded murder. Someone tried to treat them, brutally, but still. And it didn't work. Someone must have hauled the bodies into that shed. And it left marks on them. It might be possible to trace where they came from. Not much left of the shed. Elijah had more luck than sense. Where did this wine come from? Overturned sacks, soaked ground, so that's why the dead man had flour in his hair. A torch? Damn, this wasn't an accident. Someone torched the shed to cover their tracks. At least this grill is here. Rough cloth, badly charred, and bits of leather. Probably used as knee protection for work. Oil. Burns like the devil. No wonder there's barely anything left of the shed.
Bloody hell, spit it out already. It'll swell, crack, water will seep in and the whole thing will be fucked. We'll look like idiots. Instead of pay, I reckon we'll get our asses kicked.
And we'll be lucky if we get to leave in one piece.
You could have just said the spicer fucked up. Christ, I was thinking.
Adveniat nomen tuum sed libera nos amaro. Amen.
There's a lot of you here. Which one of you is Elijah?
Amen.
Keep your voice down. Elijah isn't here.
Any idea where Elijah is?
Not a clue. Haven't seen him since last night.
Have you seen Elijah around?
No, but it's not the first time he's vanished. He'll turn up, you'll see.
Quench my thirst. Water from the side of Christ, wash me. Suffering of Christ, strengthen me. Good.
Do you know where Elijah is? I really need a word with him.
I'm not sure if he's still there, but I think I saw him heading to the cellar this morning. He looked rough.
Saint Wenceslas, King of Bohemia, and you, Saint Ludmilla, plead with Christ to have mercy on us. Turn away his wrath from us.
Full of grace.
Don't you know there's a quarantine?
You're Elijah, right? What are you doing here?
What do you think? Hiding and hoping everyone leaves me alone. I don't want to talk to anyone anymore.
I get it. You don't want to remember. I've seen some nasty things too. But sometimes it helps to talk to someone. It's definitely better than drowning your wits in schnapps.
Well, all right. What do you want to know?
How did you even notice the fire? What were you doing outside?
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. It was just chance.
Just chance? You sure? I don't think the abbot would be happy about folk wandering around at night.
So what if I took a little walk?
You sure you weren't sneaking off somewhere for a drink? You seem smart enough not to keep your booze where someone might find it. I bet you've got a nice little stash, eh?
All right. Maybe I did head off to the back pond for a nightcap. I heard a dog barking like mad, so I went to see what was going on. I should have just kept out of it.
Did you see anyone else at the fire?
No. Just the dog was there.
When you dragged out those two bodies, what did you do then?
While I was pulling out the second one, other people had noticed the fire. One of the knights grabbed me and started yelling that I was the arsonist. Luckily, he saw the bodies and how I was covered in, well, the same filth they were. Then the people from the monastery came. They sent me away and took the bodies off somewhere. I don't know what happened after that.
I've seen the corpses, and I've got a few questions.
Does it have to be?
Do you have any idea who those two were?
I've no idea. It was dark, I couldn't see their faces. Thank God. As it is, I'll be dreaming about this for a long time.
I noticed some strange things about them.
Like what?
They had something white left in their hair. Like lime or flour.
Lime's used by the workers on the building site. And the mills just nearby. But how it got in their hair, I've no idea.
Dead men weigh a lot. How did you even get them out of the burning shed?
On my back? Like carrying a sack. Why?
Their backs were badly scraped. So I thought maybe you dragged them by the legs or something.
That must have happened before. Maybe when someone dragged them in. Godlessness.
It looks like they died of the same illness that's spreading through the monastery infirmary.
Christ! And I touched them. But I feel fine. So far.
You'd best go and see Brother Benedict. He'll examine you, and at least clean up those burns.
All right then.
Thanks. I'll leave you be now.
Wait, I have no idea what to do with myself. I thought I'd finally do something right for once in my life. And how did I end up? Covered in shit, face burned, and humiliated. I'd rather never step outside the door again.
What are you on about? You acted like a hero.
Hardly. I'm a coward and a drunk.
Who ran into the flames to save his fellow man.
Aye. And what did it get me?
If not for you, they'd have burned to ash and wouldn't even have a decent burial. This way they can pass on with dignity. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and be a bit proud, all right?
Right. Right. Thanks.
What are you sneaking around here for, you crook?
Oh, Christ. What is it? Did you drop something?
Now I get what Elijah was talking about. Ugh. That's one deep rut. Whoever dragged them, the poor wretches gave him a rough time. That's disgusting. But there's no other way. A cart and rose bushes. If he dragged them through the ditch, no wonder they were in such a state. Wheel tracks, headed that way towards the gate. Something's jammed in the lock. There's no way I can pick it. Locked, damn it. This way won't work. I'll have to find another route. The tracks are clear. That cart was bloody heavy. The cart tracks lead to the herbalists. Maybe Joachim knows more. Poor beast. Who did this to you? What in damn...
You said they were better. Were you lying or just that stupid?
They took a turn for the worse. It came out of nowhere, and there was no saving them.
And those books I got for you. You've half the monastery's library in here. Did you even bother looking at them?
I read every one, but I told you 100 times, I am not a physician. I don't know what you all expected from me.
You were supposed to use your head, damn it. Now everyone and their dog is sniffing around here.
I couldn't just...
I thought I made myself clear. They stay here, you don't leave, and nobody must know a thing.
But what was I supposed to do? Your master...
provided you with everything you needed and paid you generously. Or am I wrong? What about that fire? Were you just covering your ass or planning to rat on us too?
They were infected. For the sake of everyone in the monastery, I did what had to be done.
Doing what has to be done. For everyone's sake. Dennis! for an ass-kicking, you piece of shit!
Did you?
He's gone. Hold on. I'll fetch help.
Don't trouble yourself, son. But please, stay.
No. No, I'll run for Albie.
Pray with me. The Lord will soon welcome me.
All right. But I need to ask you something first.
Yes?
Why did you set the shed alight? Were you trying to get rid of the bodies?
Get rid of them? No. But should they rot under my roof? I only hoped the fire would consume them. And that'd be the end of it.
Did you try to treat those poor souls yourself?
I did my best. On the orders of Master Zacharias, I tried everything, even against their will. But either the sickness had advanced too far, or I simply lacked the knowledge.
All right. And now the prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Oh, Christ above. Go with God. Amen. Hopeless. I can't get it open.
To your health, my friend. Hopefully the worst is behind us.
May not a drop go to waste.
You rats! Hey! Henry! It was his fault those two died. He was the first to know about the epidemic, and he tried to keep everything hushed up. He blackmailed the herbalist to hide them and treat them at his place. And when those bodies were found, what did he do? He sent that lackey of his to get rid of him.
Joachim's
dead. And that Dinesh of yours, too. So now you kill me. Give me just one more reason. Albik? Albik, what is it?
If I were you, I'd hold back a while. For everyone's sake.
You poisoned him? Why?
Calm down. He's still breathing.
What do you mean, still?
Whether he survives is up to you, and whether you're finally willing to cooperate.
You're mad. You want me to help you? Now, after all this?
If you're looking for someone to blame, try yourself. None of this would have happened if you hadn't kept getting in my way.
Don't try that on me. I thought you and Albik were friends. He never did anything to deserve this.
Albik may not realize it, but half his shining reputation is thanks to me. Next to someone young and inexperienced, it's easy to look like a master. You saw it yourself. Even the Right Reverend didn't trust me. Me, royal physician to King Sigismund. But once Master Albik showed up, suddenly everything was different. And all he had to do was repeat the same things I'd already said.
So you only pretended to be his friend? All the while you looked down on him? Speak, traitor. What do you want from me?
I want Albik's closely guarded records on the treatment of King Wenceslas.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb. Albik spent a lot of time with him. I want to know what he wrote down.
So, it was you who turned our chamber upside down?
Me? No, that was Dinesh.
You swine. Albik confided in you that he had them, and you poisoned him so that...
I was hoping to frighten him. Maybe he'd give them to me for safekeeping. But the mad old fool went and hid them somewhere. So I need you to find them.
And if I bring you the records, you'll give me the antidote?
Not so fast. There's one more thing. Something King Sigismund himself would greatly value. Apparently, somewhere in this monastery, there's a relic from the Holy Land, brought here years ago by a knight.
And that's what those workers were after. But they failed.
Morons.
You mean the relic of the knight Boleslav Bavor?
So you've already found it? I might have known. Those idiots searched wherever they could, and all they managed was to open those plague-ridden graves. And where is it now?
I'd say it's with the abbot. And he's not likely to hand it over just like that. It's a holy relic, after all.
You gave it to him. 1,000 Babylonian whores. Either way, if you want Albik to survive, you'll bring it to me. And I don't care how you do it. Once you've got the relic and the records, come to the church. We'll meet there. And one last piece of advice. Hurry. The substance acts slowly, but the longer you make Albik wait, the worse the consequences.
And what's to stop me grabbing you by the neck, beating the antidote out of you, and dragging you to the abbot?
The fact I'm not a fool. I haven't got the antidote on me, so we can go to the abbot and spend hours blaming each other. Meanwhile, Albic will die, right here on the cold ground in a puddle of his own vomit. If he's to survive, we do this my way. Do we understand each other?
You miserable bloody bastard. I'll do it, but only for Albic's sake.
I expected nothing less.